What's up? It's your boy G-Rock, theshoegame.com, TSG. We up North Atlanta right now where the rich folks stay, man. Standing outside of Greg Street House, man. Finally, we about to do the interview, chop it up with him downstairs, and then hopefully he let us go upstairs to the collection or whatnot, man. So we outside, it's about to go down, man.
What up?
Ain't there?
The shoe game in the building. Y'all ready to do this?
Yeah, the shoe game, man.
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Get the people what they want to see, man. Greg Street.
Shoegame.com. Welcome to Greg Street, man.
What's up, man? We kicking it with Greg Street. You know what I'm saying? We up here finally got this interview. The shoegame.com exclusive, man. What's going on? What's new?
I got these exclusive Nike ID flip-flops on, man. These house shoes, man. You know what I'm saying? Suede with the black sole. Super exclusive.
Right. Anyway, man. People been seeing you on the site, man. They've been seeing pictures, got the write-up on you. They've seen the events we've been posting or whatnot. But, you know what I'm saying, tell the people who is Greg Street outside of just the sneakerhead that they think you are. You know, they know you as DJ Greg Street. They know you as a sneakerhead. But outside of that, what else have you done?
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Did radio there. I did radio in Mobile, Alabama. Radio in Houston, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Atlanta, Georgia. Produced a few records. Co-produced a few records. Worked with a lot of artists, been instrumental on what it is they trying to do in the music business. Everybody from Scarface to Master P, Outkast, UGK, Polo the Don, the Rich Boy, Smurf to Soldier Boy. You know, a lot of artists.
What about the, well, you know, I know, but what about the car shows that you were showing, the car and bike shows?
Well, the car show tour is actually about 5 years old. Started in Atlanta. We're actually in Dallas Convention Center, then Atlanta. And we did some other cities. We did Mobile, Alabama. We did Savannah. We did Macon. This year we actually probably hooking up with Microsoft to do it real big. So we got some things in the work for this spring. In fact, we got an all-celebrity car show coming up before Christmas at the compound. We're going to bring the cars inside the little front of the club, but it's going to be all celebrity cars and motorcycles.
Okay. So normally I know y'all hit Atlanta, y'all definitely hit Texas, and is it Miami? Is Miami on the line?
Yeah, we did Miami.
So where else in the U.S., because it's just for the United States or whatnot, but where else do y'all travel for the car and bike show?
We normally do like about 5, 6 cities a year. We might do Mobile, Dallas, Atlanta, Macon, Savannah. We think about maybe adding like 2 or 3 more cities. I think we're going to do Kentucky. We're going to do the Kentucky Derby this year.
Okay. So that's what's up, man.
Louisville.
That's what's up. You was just talking about you did radio in all the different cities, but you here right now at B103 and you got the 6 o'clock spot, and I know you've been on 6 o'clock spot since I was back in like elementary, middle school or whatnot. So how long have you
Probably
been?
not that long. I've been here since 95.
95, what I was saying, I was in middle school, 7th grade, 95. So you've been on there for a minute or whatnot. 6 o'clock spot or whatnot. Tell the people, you know what I'm saying, what goes on at the station or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, the people that follow through and how long you've been rocking with that and how that led to doing the mixtapes and even putting out was the 6 o'clock time for Street to Rock CD that went gold or
6
whatnot.
o'clock volume 1.
Right.
Did almost 200,000 on Atlantic with one single. We got a new album coming out this December 11th on Interscope. 6 o'clock worldwide, Greg Street certified. About to drop that. Got a movie coming out called How We Did the Movie, featuring Pharrell, Ludacris, Jermaine, Outkast, David Banner, Brian Michael Cox, Swiss Beats. A lot of artists just telling their genuine stories of how they made it in the music industry. It's gonna come out a Best Buy exclusive. Best Buy got like 900 stores in the United States, so the movie's gonna come out exclusively with Best Buy.
Okay. So you being a DJ, did you already build a relationship with Clark Kent before, you know what I'm saying, you really got into the sneaker culture, or was it throughout what you did with DJing and working in radio?
I met him through DJing the radio, you know, and then, you know, we started working like with the sneaker stuff.
Okay. So speaking of Clark Kent, let's get straight into the sneakers or whatnot. Back in the day or whatnot, before the Dunks and the Air Force Ones and the Jordans was prime in, you know, quote unquote, the sneaker game, what shoe originally, you know, did it for you? What was one of the first shoes that you could remember? What was the joint to have, you know, back when you was coming up?
The Dr. J's, then the Jordans, Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones weren't really that hot when they first came out in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like the Converse, Dr. J's, Pro Kids, Pumas, but you know the first Nikes was hot, like the canvas ones with the rubber toes. Those was hot.
Okay. So around at that time period, at this span that you're talking about, around what time would you say that was? What year are we looking at?
I mean, that was when I was a kid. I'm talking about like when kid age. That was probably like in the 80s.
Okay. So throughout that time span, going through the 80s, when you seeing Nike being introduced with Air Force One in 1982 and seeing the Jordan being introduced in 85, Puma really kicking off and Adidas as well with Run DMC campaign, all these sneaker brands starting to really come in and evolve in that whole hip hop culture or whatnot. What are some of the key highlights that you remember through, I guess once you was like in high school or whatnot, or at young adult age? What are some of the key components that you remember seeing with the shoes or whatnot?
Like you said, Run DMC with the Adidas, Jazz Jeff, Fresh Prince, they had the Lacoste Sportif. A lot of other East Coast artists like LL had the Troops, MC Shan had the Pumas. Just the whole movement. Heavy D was doing a lot of stuff with Nikes. Willie D had a Reed D's Nike record back in the day from the Ghetto Boys. So those are. I mean, sneakers always been a part of the culture because people in hip hop don't really dress up. So that the sneaker was like the ultimate shoe. Like some people wear sandals in the summertime. Some people wear hard toe shoes when they dress up. But like for hip hop, I think hip hop really gravitated to the sneakers because hip hop and sports and all that kind of like ties together. So the sneaker actually like became just a part of the whole thing with the jeans, the t-shirts, and the sneakers. Because I mean, when you see somebody rocking some jeans, hard toe shoes, and a t-shirt, it don't really fit the attire. So sneakers was like the element that came into the culture that really fitted the element of what hip hop was about.
The brands that has kind of faded, like maybe Troop and Lotto, some of the other brands that you might have been interested in or that you used to rock, or that at least had your attention back in that time span.
Back in the day, a lot of sneakerheads might not remember this, but Tom McCann, who got bought out by Foot Locker, they had their own version of the Chuck Taylor called the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And
that was a hot shoe because what they did, they used to have way more colorways than Chuck Taylor. So a lot of people used to rock the NBAs. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to bring them back. That would be a hot brand, I think, to bring back. That would be like one of them. I used to mess with this dude with Tim Brown, football player for the Oakland Raiders. He had a shoe line called Pro Moves. Mm-hmm. Like when the Rachis and all that stuff was popular, when they first came out, Nike started really going boom with the running shoe. A lot of people probably don't remember, but Tim had his own line called Pro Moves, and it was kind of like the Bo Jackson Air Max looking type of shoe.
Okay. So at that time, growing up in Louisiana, did you have a specific mom and pop shop or a place that mom, Dukes, and pops used to take you to go cop the shoes that you can remember going to get your first pair of shoes?
Smoky Sporting Goods, they had the sneakers, and Smart Shoe Store.
Okay. This was up. So we've touched at the beginning point time and even through the 80s. So right coming in at the 90s when towards the late 80s and the beginning of the 90s when Nike was starting to really work campaigns, signing contracts with Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, Andre Agassi, Ken Griffey, Charles Barkley, et cetera, et cetera. What are some of the things that you remember, or even some of those shoes that you remember having at that time that you may even, you might have now, or they might have retro now? Some of those, key highlights that you remember in the early 90s period. Because that, to me...
I mean, even in the 80s, the Jordan 3s, I can remember my first pair of Jordan 3s. I think I still got my Jordan sweatsuit that went with the Jordan 3s.
All right.
The one that like the parachute. And then the flights. Definitely the flights, the Jordan 3s. I think the Jordan 3s is really the ones that really just exploded for Nike. Mm-hmm. I mean, the ones did all right. The 2s did cool, but I think when they came out with the 3s with the cement, that first Tinker Hatfield shoe, I think that's really what really went crazy on that one. Of course, the Agassiz did good, and like the Hardaways and the Barclays and some of the other shoes, signature shoes was cool. But I mean, for the most part, like it is now, that's why it's so popular. The Jordan was the one.
Okay, so it was mainly Jordan for you.
Right.
You was mainly into the Jordans. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get up to the collection. Let's check the collection out.
All right.